everybody. It is time. I am freshly out of the shower. Just got home from the gym. I have a Diet Coke the size of my head. I am ready to answer some questions. Ready to answer some Q&A questions. You guys have been leaving them on the videos. I've been asking for them the last few videos. Now it is time to answer. Alright. Very first question here. Boss Gaming Nova. He asks, or they ask rather, for Q&A. How did you become a Golden Knights fan? And how do you feel about how they've been doing this season? So it's a two-part question, and I'll answer the first part. First, how did I become a Golden Knights fan? So, I got into hockey around 2014. I was on a trip up in Calgary, Canada, a 2-week vacation, staying up there. Within the first week of the vacation, we had done all of the usual touristy things. Calgary Zoo, all the big malls, the casinos, did a few escape rooms, got some poutine. That's more of a Quebec thing, but did all the touristy things. So then the question came up that was like, okay, what is the most Canadian thing we can do while we're in Canada? And the obvious answer was hockey. So, since we were in Calgary, we bought tickets and went to a Calgary Flames game. And I immediately fell in love with the sport. Loved that. I think they were playing, I'm pretty sure they were playing the Coyotes. So, 2014, a game against the Coyotes in Calgary. You can try to narrow it down and figure out when it was. I don't really remember at this point. It was 8 years ago. But yeah, loved watching hockey. Immediately fell in love with the sport. And then I came back home from the trip, tried to watch some Calgary Flames games, and although I loved watching hockey, I didn't feel any connection to the Flames at all. I just didn't really find any enjoyment in watching the Flames. I couldn't connect to the team really, or any of the players. So I kind of just was watching random NHL games without much of a rooting interest. And mostly going to live in-person games to the Portland Winterhawks. But then in 2017, they announced that Las Vegas was getting an expansion team. And Las Vegas is like one of my favorite places on earth. It's basically my home away from home. Before COVID, I was going to Vegas like twice a year, every year. I'm a gold tier M Life member. I get free hotel stays in Vegas, like I go to Vegas all the time. So I've had a connection to Vegas for a while. And then they announced the team is coming to Vegas. So I was like, okay, I like hockey, I like Vegas. And I got in on the ground floor. And I've been a fan of the Golden Knights since day one of the expansion year. So, Boss Gaming Nova, thank you very much for the question. Okay, Vinny Pipe. They say, Yes, sir. Canada represent here. Yes, Canada represent. My second favorite country I've ever been to. For Q&A, have you ever met someone famous? And if no, which famous person would you like to meet? Well, I have met a few famous people, but I'll still answer the second part as well. But okay. Famous people that I've met. I have met a few Portland Trail Blazers over the years. I met Myers Leonard twice. Once at a meet and greet, and then another time he was sitting next to me at a Portland Timbers match. I met Evan Turner once when he was on the Blazers. I've met Damian Lillard. And I met Anthony Simons. I think those are the only Blazers I've met. I met Hobo Johnson. He's a musician. I don't know if you know Hobo Johnson. He has like one or two popular songs. I was at his concert, and I was at the urinal probably 30 minutes before the show, and he came up and started using the urinal next to me, because there was only two urinals in the bathroom and they were next to each other. I looked over and I was like, oh, it's Hobo Johnson, but I didn't say anything because he was using the bathroom and I felt kind of weird about that. But then afterwards he did a meet and greet with the fans, and took pictures with everybody, and he remembered me. He's like, hey, you're the guy from the bathroom. I was like, yeah. So I met Hobo Johnson. I've met a bunch of people at Comic-Con. I've met the Phelps twins who played Fred and George Weasley. I met them at a Comic-Con. I've met the guy who does the voice of Squidward. I met Holly Marie Combs from Charmed. I met Jason Momoa. And I am very, very good friends with somebody who used to be married to a very famous actress. I'm not giving away any more information than that, but I'm very good friends with somebody who used to be married to an actress. Have I met anybody else? I don't think so. But which famous person would I like to meet? I would love to meet Quentin Tarantino. I'd love to meet Tarantino. And I almost did. I think I've told this story on the channel before, but I'll say it again. When Quentin Tarantino was doing The Hateful Eight, he did a road show where they took it around to certain theaters around the United States that were equipped to handle 70mm film. And a theater near me has a 70mm projector, so they were going to play the roadshow version, which it was an extended cut of the film. There was an intermission in it. It was this big format. It was like this big event. And the theater near me was actually the first stop of the roadshow tour. And they were only showing it 2 nights, Tuesday and Thursday. My partner at the time, I wanted to go Tuesday, I wanted to go opening night, but my partner at the time worked that day. So she said that she'd rather go Thursday, so we got tickets for Thursday. It turns out that Quentin Tarantino went to the showing on the Tuesday that we didn't go to and did a meet and greet and Q&A with the audience that lasted for 3 hours after the movie ended. So, not bitter about that at all, by the way. So, Vinny, Pepe, PP, Pepe, hope that answers your question. Phillies are beast. For the Q&A, who is your favorite hockey player of all time, and if you play hockey? My favorite hockey player of all time probably cliche, but it's Gretz, like just Wayne Gretzky. Just like, obviously I didn't watch him in his prime, or like he was already retired by the time I cared, but I've watched so much like footage of Wayne Gretzky, and like I just really respect his game and what he did and all that. My favorite player right now, funny enough, he's not even on the Knights. It's probably Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner's probably my favorite player. And if I play hockey, I unfortunately don't. I really want to. I bought a pair of ice skates, hockey skates, during COVID. And I said as soon as the rinks open back up, I'm gonna go take lessons so I can learn how to play and get into beer league. I have emailed my local ice rink. There's only one. There's only one rink near me. I have emailed them, called them, sent in forms, left voicemails like 4 or 5 times, asking to set up lessons, and they have not got back to me. So I don't know what to do. It's like I'm trying to give you my money, and you're not letting me. So, no, unfortunately, for the time being, I do not play hockey, but I really want to take lessons, and I really want to learn how to play. Sifak. Who was your NHL team before Vegas, and why did you switch to Vegas when they came? I feel like I kind of answered that question already, so hopefully that original question or answer was satisfactory for you. Bean Boy Yuli. For Q&A, what is your favorite game series /game/board game, and why? And also, what does your dream vacation look like? Okay. Favorite game series. I'm assuming that means video game series. That's hard. If we're talking if we're talking the entire series of games, not just a singular game, it's a toss-up between Kingdom Hearts and Fallout. I'd say it's either Kingdom Hearts or Fallout for an overall series. And my favorite board game is Settlers of Catan, or I guess chess, if chess counts. But if you're not counting chess, then Settlers of Catan is my favorite, like, off-the-shelf board game. And my dream vacation. My dream vacation is a month in Norway. My family descends from Norway. I'm 66% Norwegian genetically, and I'd love to go back there, go to the village that my family emigrated to the US from, go see my family's, like my ancestors' grave sites, stuff like that. I know where all that stuff is. I have their names and all that stuff. My grandma does genealogy and family trees and stuff, so that'd be my dream vacation, going to Norway and connecting to that part of my past. Thank you, Bean Boy Yuli. Samuel Tremblay. I don't know if this is a Q&A question, but I'll answer it anyway. Asks NHL playoffs prediction video. Yes, I will do round by round predictions once the playoffs are set. Once we know who's in, who's out, who's playing who, I will do round by round prediction videos. Mike Oxlong asks me for Q&A, what is your favorite TV shows and movies? Well, I've done 2 videos on this channel, one for my top 10 movies of all time, and one for my top 10 TV TV shows of all time. So I'll link those in the description if you want to watch. But my favorite movie of all time is Reservoir Dogs by Quentin Tarantino. And my favorite TV show of all time is Season 1 of True Detective, starring Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. Also, I do plan on doing a top 10 anime list at some point. I have the list written up. I have like all the stuff downloaded for a slideshow. I've just been too lazy to make the video, but that will be coming eventually. So thank you, Mike Oxlong. Julius asks, WTF? I'm not trying to answer that question. Not Neff asks, do you like football? And if so, what's your favorite team? And they ask favorite with a U in it. So I think they're from the United Kingdom, perhaps. Especially because they also have a Jaguars profile picture. I do like football. Hold on. But they might mean soccer. I'll answer both. I do like football, and I like soccer. Football. My favorite team is the Seattle Seahawks, which is unfortunate for me because they're going to have a terrible season this year. So I might take a little bit of a step back from the NFL this season. We'll see. I'll still make videos about the NFL. And if you're asking about the other football, what the rest of the world calls football, my favorite team is Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich. Johnny Harmon asks 2 questions. If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what is your biggest fear? So anywhere in the entire world, I would either live in Oslo, Norway, or I would live in Tokyo, Japan. Now, I didn't want to talk about this because it's not set in stone yet. It might not happen, but I might be going and living in Tokyo for a short little while, probably next year, 2023, but it is something that is on the table right now for me, so next year you guys might see me making some videos in Tokyo for a few months or a year or two. And what is my biggest fear? Heights. I want to say flying. I hate flying. I hate being in airplanes. But I think that fear of flying comes from a fear of heights. So I think ultimately that's what it all boils down to, is heights. Definitely my biggest fear, unless we're counting like death, in which case, I mean, yeah, that's my number one, but probably heights. Have you tried Squad Fun Milsim from Patty Link? This is on my Arma video. I have not tried Squad. I have some friends who play it. And they seem to really like it. But me personally, I've not tried it yet. I don't really know if I want to. Like, the way I play Arma is mostly single player, like scenarios, and then like sometimes with 1 or 2 friends who don't take it super seriously. And I feel like Squad is a little bit like sweatier and more hardcore, especially with people you don't know. Like I said, I mostly play with friends, and we kind of just screw around a lot. Unless I'm playing by myself, so I don't really think Squad would be the game for me. Thank you, Patty Link. Jaden Wright Hey man, great video as always. Thank you, Jaden. I appreciate it. I have a question. How long did you watch ASMR for before making videos? And what made you start making them? Hope you have a great rest of your week, mate. Thank you, Jane. That's very nice. How long did I watch ASMR before making videos? Years. Real fast. I'm actually gonna look up because I remember the very first ASMR video I saw. I remember what it was. Okay. I will find it. My very first ASMR video I ever saw was 10 years ago. And it was a Gentle Whisperings dermatologist roleplay video 10 years ago. And I started making videos last year. What made me start making them? Well, I'd already been uploading videos on this channel, non-ASMR videos. But then, it was one night, and it was like right after my divorce, so I was like kind of spiraling a little bit. I was extremely intoxicated, and I was just like messing around like with my friends, and he kind of like dared me to make a video, an ASMR video on Sponge Glock SquarePants. So if you go to like my oldest videos on this channel, you'll see the very first ASMR video I made was Sponge Glock SquarePants ASMR. And I am blackout drunk in that video. Like I was gone. And I did it as a complete joke. But then I sent it to this girl I had been talking to at the time. And she actually was like, wow, you actually have a really relaxing voice. You should make another one. And because she told me that, I was like, oh, okay, I'll make another one. So then I made another one. And then I just kept making them. And here I am. Maybe not a super satisfying answer, but that is what it is. Jaden also asks a second question. Also, if you could completely forget a game and replay it as if it was the first time, what game would it be? Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs, I think, is one of the most underrated video games, like, ever. I don't know why that game wasn't more popular. The setting is amazing, the story's really good, the combat's really good. Imagine Grand Theft Auto set in Hong Kong, basically. And it's kind of like you're playing like a hard-boiled, or like any of those like Chinese like cop drama action movies. It's an amazing game, and I wish I could forget the story and start over fresh again, because that's probably my favorite game of all time, is Sleeping Dogs. So thank you very much, Jaden. Great question. Another question from Vinny Pepe. Q&A question. Where did your name Daft Raincloud come from? So that's actually kind of funny. Back when the Xbox 360 first came out, I was making my Xbox Live account. I used to go by a different name on everything. And I still go by it on like some of my social medias. Pretty much anything that's my personal social media, I go by this old name. But then when I was making my Xbox Live, they had this randomize button, and I like just kept hitting it, and one of the options that popped up was Daft Raincloud. And I was like, I kind of like that. So I just clicked it, and then I've been using it since like, I don't know when when did the 360 come out? Like 2007, 2005. So I've been using it since then. No, it wasn't that early. I'm insane. When did the 360 come out? The 360 came out in 2005. Okay. Yeah, so since 2005, I've been using Daft Rain Cloud. But what's funny is that one person has correctly guessed that before. I was in a Discord server with somebody, and they said, "Did you get your name through Xbox Live?" And I was like, "Yes, how did you know?" And they were like, "I can just tell." And that was bizarre. But yeah, it is a Xbox Live random generated name, and I've just rolled with it ever since. Silly Goose asks, what is your favorite video game of all time? I can't answer that question already, but Sleeping Dogs, probably my favorite video game of all time. But right below that is Civilization 5 and Stardew Valley. That's my 3 favorite, depending on, of those I've played the most of Civ 5. I have, I think, over 2,000 hours on Civ 5 and Steam. It's bad. But Sleeping Dogs, probably my favorite game of all time, followed closely by Civilization 5 and Stardew Valley. Red Temper Defense asks, have you played Elden Ring? I have not played Elden Ring. I just know myself. I personally do not enjoy From Software games. I'm not one of those people who thinks they're bad or derides people who do like them, and I can see why people like them. I played Bloodborne a little bit, and I just wasn't into it. My roommate, he loves Elden Ring. He's been playing Elden Ring a ton ever since it came out, but just personally not for me. I know it's not for me, so I'm just not gonna, waste my time with it really, but I don't have any problem with it. Just personally not my cup of tea. And I think that is it. I was gonna double check over everything. Yeah, I think that is it. So, thank you guys so much for all the questions. I think we got a good variety of questions for the video there. There was all across the board, sports, movies, personal life, all that stuff. So thank you guys so much for all the great questions. Thank you guys so much. I just hit 700 subscribers the other day. At some point in the future, more viewers, more subscribers, whatever, I'll definitely do another one of these Q&A videos. This was a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you guys so much for your continued support. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this every single day. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.